Blender Basics. In this video, we'll cover the essentials, navigation, modeling, and rendering to help you get started with 3D creation. First, let's install Blender properly. Go to blender.org, the link is in the description. Click Download in the upper right corner. Here, you can choose your operating system, but it will automatically choose it for you, so just click the Download button. Save the file wherever you like, then run the .msi installer. Click through the installer. You can choose the installation location based on your preference. And you're all set. Just open Blender from your search bar, desktop, or the folder where you installed it. Now, let's check out the user interface. At first, it might look a bit overwhelming, but don't worry, I'll walk you through the important parts. Right in the middle, we have the 3D viewport. This is where you'll do most of your work, like moving objects, modeling, and animating. Up on the right, we have the outliner. Think of this as a list of everything in your scene. It helps you stay organized, especially when working with lots of objects. Below that, we've got the Properties panel. This is where you'll find all the settings for your objects, like materials, modifiers, and rendering options. On the left, there's the toolbar. This has all the basic tools for selecting, moving, scaling, and rotating objects. If you don't see it, just press T on your keyboard to toggle it on and off. At the bottom, there's the timeline. If you're animating, this is where you control keyframes and playback. And finally, at the very top, we have the header with menus for file management, rendering, and layout options. And if you ever need more controls, press N to open the sidebar on the right. Alright, now that we know our way around, let's start manipulating the user interface and objects. First, learn how to navigate Blender's UI. To rotate the view, hold the middle mouse button and drag your mouse. Hold Shift and the middle mouse button to pan the screen, allowing for more precise camera adjustments. Roll the middle mouse button to zoom in and out on your object. Use the numpad to switch to specific views. Numpad 1 for the front view, numpad 3 for the side view, and numpad 7 for the top view. Numpad 0 for the camera view. Other numpad keys provide angled views, but these are less commonly used. If you don't have a numpad, here's a trick. Go to Edit Preferences, Input, and toggle Emulate Numpad. This will make the number row function like a numpad. Now let's cover basic object manipulation, moving, resizing, and rotating. To move an object, press G. To resize an object, press S. To rotate an object, press R. Keep in mind that every adjustment will be based on the axis relative to your camera view. To rotate an object freely, double-click R to activate the trackball function. You can restrict manipulation to a single axis. For example, press G to move the object, then click X to move it only along the X-axis. Similarly, you can lock the movement to other axes. Press Y or Z to restrict movement to the Y-axis or Z-axis, respectively. This axis restriction works with all manipulations. Try it while resizing by pressing S, then X, Y, or Z to resize along a specific axis. You can also delete objects by pressing X while the object is selected. Now, let's check out some basic object edit mode shortcuts. If you deleted your cube earlier, you can add it back by pressing Shift+A, then selecting Mesh and choosing Cube. Press Tab to enter edit mode while the cube is selected. Here, we have three main ways to manipulate objects: vertices, edges, and faces. Let's start with vertices. A vertex is a single point in 3D space. It's the corner of a 3D object, and by moving, scaling, or rotating vertices, you can shape your object. You can select multiple vertices by holding Shift and clicking on them. Every shortcut we talked about in the previous part works on these points as well, including locking the manipulation to a single axis. Let's jump into edges. An edge is a straight line connecting two vertices. By manipulating edges, you can change the shape and structure of your object. And finally, let's talk about faces. A face is a flat surface enclosed by edges. It's the part of your object that you can see, and manipulating faces lets you shape the overall surface of your model. You can also extrude faces by pressing E. Extruding a face creates a new section of geometry connected to the original face, allowing you to extend the shape or add depth to your model. There are also some special shortcuts, like Ctrl+R. Ctrl+R adds a loop cut to your mesh. This means it will create an edge loop that runs through your model, allowing you to add more detail or shape your object more precisely. Next, you can bevel edges by pressing Ctrl+B. Beveling an edge softens it by creating a new edge or a set of edges at an selected edge, which can make your model look more realistic by adding smoother transitions instead of sharp corners. You can add more edges by scrolling your mouse wheel while beveling. This lets you control the number of segments in the bevel, giving you more or fewer edges to work with for finer detail. Now that you've got the basics down, let's put your new skills to the test. We'll start by modeling something simple. We'll be making a simple table, perfect for practicing basic modeling. Let's get started. Press 1 on the numpad to switch to the side view. This will help you see and adjust how slim you want the tabletop to be. Press S to scale, then Z to slim it down vertically. Once you're happy with the thickness, press S to scale the tabletop to your desired size. You can adjust the shape however you like, for example, making it longer in one direction. I did this by pressing S, then X to scale along the X-axis. Now, press 7 on the numpad to switch to the top view. Then, press Tab to enter edit mode. Now, press Ctrl+R to add a loop cut. Click to confirm. Then press Escape to cancel the position and leave it in the center. Next, press Ctrl+B to bevel the edges. Then, stretch it out like you see in the video. You'll need to do this process twice, once horizontally and once vertically. Try it yourself, or follow along with me in the video. Now you have the necessary points to create the table legs. Switch to faces. Select the corner faces, then extrude them along the Y-axis to create the table legs. You can do that by holding Shift and clicking on the individual faces. Then press E to extrude and Y to move them along the Y-axis. And you're done. You've just created your own simple table. And that's all. Keep practicing, keep learning, and good luck with your 3D modeling journey.